Dinner time! That's the 25th anniversary bell.
Okay, Lord, we just thank you for this gathering, this celebration of marriage, of life. We thank you for your presence here, Father, for your peace, for your joy, for your laughter that fills our souls today. Most of all, we thank you, Father, for your love that you have poured out on each and every one of us. Lord, your word says that God is love, and so the love we share for each other is from you. Every person here in this place is unique and different, and you made each of us special, all to bring you honor and glory. Without you, Father, we are nothing. Your word says that God so loved the world so much that he sent his Son, Jesus Christ, to die for us on the cross, that whoever believes in Christ and accepts his gift of love would have eternal life, a life of love for all eternity with you, Father, and all our loved ones that have gone before us. What a great gift of love that you've given each of us. And Father, we thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for this meal. And we ask that you bless it and make it nourishment to our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen. Mama, I have a letter for you. When we were going through the pictures and we opened the bag of a picture, there was a letter to you from Aunt Dee from 1990. Do you remember this letter? It was in that picture. So we thought we'd read it, a letter, a note from Aunt Dee to you for your 61st anniversary. 65th. It says, "Dearest Roberta, just a small token of my appreciation to you and Julius for being so very loving. Thank you so very much for my birthday party. I will never forget it. The big 6-0. Love, Dee." Do you remember that? Yay, Aunt Dee, we miss you. We wish you were here. Isn't that so sweet to find a treasure like that?
Yes.
Oh, try and keep it clean.
Wow.
That's my daughter.
It was totally clean. It was about how when I grew up and I was playing with Guy and Kevin and Brent, and we would always be over here, and I watched you put this brick down, and I was like, what a woman.
What a woman. What a woman.
Still doing it.
She was our inspiration.
That was clean.
Yeah.
A marriage that started in 1955 between two very young people are here today to celebrate with their children and families their 65th wedding anniversary. They took their vows very seriously. They both worked at their marriage every day. They were blessed with sons, Guy, Kevin, and Brent. They blessed them with grandchildren and great-grandchildren. All the many years that both worked hard with more and more love and care for each other and the family. There was always love in their hearts for each and every day, and love for their family each and every day to this very moment. God has blessed and been good to them and their families with many, many blessings. You both are an inspiration to our family, to all of us who love you. I love you dearly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Debbie said, you're going to tell something that's going to make you cry or going to make you laugh? I said, I'm going to do something to make you laugh.
There you go, I like that. That's good. Please.
So, if y'all remember Dad's Thunderbird, he had that big yellow boat, Tri-V hull. There was a placard right before you walked into the cabin that had Dad put on it, and it said, don't eat. Wait. Only thing that goes in here is something that's been eaten. It was like, it had a little placard that said something like, God, I had the name of it. I used to see it, and I realized he didn't put that. The potty is only for things that you've eaten, something like that. I didn't realize he didn't. That wasn't there when we first bought the boat. It was there about a year later. Well, I don't know why. Well, I was in the back of the boat. Mom and Dad are fishing, and we were way over there at Lake Pension, which is a good ride from the camp. We had towed a boat, and we caught some fish. And Mom got out the boat, and she walks into the cabin. We had a little porta potty, and it was a nice potty because you could pump it, and it would empty into the canal. Well, Mama kind of taps on the door, and she says, "Julius, it won't flush." So Dad was about 45, big burly guy. He says, so she sat down to the side of the potty, and Daddy got on the other side. And he looked at it, and he flipped the little switches, and he pressed the little things, and he starts pumping. Now, it has two hoses. One hose goes to get the water, and the other one lets the water out. Well, we had one of Uncle Paul's daughters, the previous week, put something in the toilet that she hadn't eaten. And stuff she had eaten. And it was in there for a week, in that hose. And Daddy's sitting on this side, Mama's sitting on that side, and that hose is going until kaboosh! There was an explosion, just like a septic tank had blew up, and the two of them were sitting with it all over them. They're wearing it, and we're sinking. Daddy's holding the hose, and he said, "Brent, Brent," and Mama's just crawling out, and she's trembling. And she just made her way. She didn't say nothing. She sat down she sat down in her chair, and she had chunks stuck to her. She had it all over her head. And Daddy said, "Brent, you have to drive the boat." So I'm out there, and I'm pulling in the little boat, and I got us going. And once I got up, we wasn't sinking anymore. Dad comes out, and he's looking at Mom as he's walking by. And she had some hanging from her earlobe that it was just dangling in the wind. It was just dangling there in the wind. And Papa would look at me, and I'm in the back. It stunk high heaven in the front of that boat. I wasn't going up front. But it was too funny. Mama got to the Dad said, you got something right there. And she's crying. We got back to the camp. She didn't say nothing. Dad ran in the front. He's holding on to the hose, and she got out. I would get a clamp on the clamp us so we didn't sink. And that's when I think of that. Do not put anything into the head unless it's been eaten first. You had a little sign.
Did you remember there was company at the camp?
Yeah, you had to walk by Carlin or somebody. You had to walk by the Campbells into the camp with stuff. I mean.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I remember we fished with him the weekend before.
She's not here, blame it on Paula.
Yeah. All right, well, anyway, Mom and Dad, thank y'all for raising us. 65 years is awesome. We appreciate being able to celebrate this with y'all, and wish y'all another many more.
Thank you. How about the time when you had a mess in your pants and you called Mama to bring home?
Yeah, I went to Betty. I was going to expand on Kevin's story. I had a perfect attendance through 8th grade because you did not miss a day. Mama, I remember her telling me, you could be sick here or you could be sick at school. You still got to be somewhere. So I went for 8 years without missing. I'm in 8th grade, sitting down with a bunch of people at recess at Koto Bible School. 8th grade, that's old. And I leaned and thought I was getting ready to let go a little fart. Well, it was just gone. So I just stayed sitting there. Everybody got up from recess. They all went into the thing, and this teacher says, "Brent, come on. So, I need to call somebody, but it ain't gonna be my mama." I called Aunt Betty to come get me. So Aunt Betty, she gets to school. She says, "You sick?" I said, "Well, I was." And she's like, "What did you do?" I said, "I got a bad situation going on here." So I got to their house, and I didn't want to walk over here, so I went in the tub, and I pulled my clothes off, and I didn't know what to do with them. So I opened up the window, and I took my drawers, and I threw it out. Well, it landed on top of their air conditioner. It was just hanging off the side and dripping. And I showered off, and then I waited for the bus that used to drop me off. I watched for it. When the bus came, I walked off and walked in the house, and Mama never knew I got taken back out of school. I know. You were bowling. But the guy brought up a story about that pooping in the tub. So I thought about Dad's story. Dad had hemorrhoid surgery years and years back, and they
Something he was proud of.
he used to ride with Kevin going to work. He'd sit on a flashlight. He used to always have those things. So he finally went and got surgery to get his hemorrhoids removed. Well, he was supposed to poop at the hospital. They wouldn't let him leave, so I think he kind of fibbed a little bit, so they'd let him leave. He wanted to come home. So it built up, and finally he couldn't go, so finally he laid down in the tub, got some warm water, and he opened his legs and he said, I'm gonna try. So he said it started going and going. He said, and it hit the tub. He said it started coming around this way. He moved his leg, it was coming back. He started yelling, "Berta! Berta!" She comes in and she gets a spatula.
No, she gets tinker toys.
No, a spatula.
That's God.
A little net, yeah, a little net. And she's got to break it in little pieces and put it in a Ziploc bag and break them. And Dad's like trying to keep it off.
Remember those days, huh?
Yeah, that was a good one. So
Things we do for love.
when it hit the end, it started going that way.
I got no script. Uh-oh. I got no script. I could tell about the time Mama and Dad would use the jacks at the camper, when the jacks would go on and jacks would go on. But we're not going to tell that story. Anyway, my mama is a person who believes that you got to do what it takes to do what you got to do. And one thing is her favorite thing is, that you never could get sick, ever. There's no such thing as getting sick. A cold was nothing, fever, nothing. So you went to school all the time. I made all the attendance records. That was not, can I get out because you don't do good, I can step late. None of that. You went to school. So I remember going playing in the woods. We lived in the woods. We'd come home after the bus would come off. There was no Nintendos, there's no other stuff. We lived, am I right? We lived in the woods. When like I said, when the lights came out on the poles, or you had a bell, ding, 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 ding. Remember the bell? The bell, ding. We knew, Keith knows and all stuff. We all in the woods. We go, time to come back in. It got dark, so. Anyway, my mama goes, you go to school, no way getting out of school, or you in trouble. So got kind of in the briars and bushes and we playing, and I didn't know, that there's certain things you don't play with in the bushes, Come to find out it was poison ivy. I had poison ivy, and I got it all over my face. So I'm at school, and the teacher's looking at me and going, and I can barely see. It's all over my eyelids. I'm like doing like the Chinese person, just give me, oh, yeah, what? And the teacher's looking at me and goes, what's the matter with your face? I go, I don't know. I got this poison ivy thing, I think. My mama said poison. She goes, well, you got to go to the principal's office. I'm going, what? She goes, you can't see. I'm just like, I can barely see. So I go to the principal's office, and the principal says, so I'm going to call your mom. Oh no, don't you call my mom. I'm sitting there with the principal, fussing at the principal, saying, no, you don't call my mom. You don't have any reason not to go unless you're dying. You said that to me. You said, unless you die, you can't leave school. If you went to school as much as you want, she loves school. Remember, she loves school. Anyway, so the teacher calls up, the principal calls her up, Mama's coming to pick me up. And I'm going, oh, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. The best thing ever happened to me was my mama came pick me up, brought me to the doctor. They gave me medicine. And she, not one time, she ever said anything like, I'm going to get you go get for that. So I remember that, Mom. You let me go. You let me home. You were so nice to me, so sweet to me. That was the only time I got to get out of school. So if you get poison ivy, Mama let you out of school. You were in trouble. Talking about my dad and Uncle Paul. I love my dad so much. He's the best dad in the world. We're at the camp. Now, we did a lot of stuff at the camp. And Dad and Uncle Paul was going, say, Couche, Couche, yeah, right at dusk, you know, going. But they own a private, federal, bad place where you don't go hunting at.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, they didn't do it. Anyway, so I'm in the boat with them, and I'm young. I'm very, very young, you know. I'm like Luke said, a little bit older than Luke. And then they go up. Dad says, like, stay here. We're going to hunt for quick. And we're going to come back. And you had the marsh shoes going back and forth. So he goes, if anybody comes up to you, any boat comes up to you, act retarded. Sorry to say that word, but, you know, he said it. So act stupid, you know. So it's my dad. This is my dad, you know. He's telling me. So I say that, and a boat pulls up. It was actually somebody's friends. I thought it was a game warden or somebody. So he's acting like, he says, say, huh, a couple of times and they'll leave you alone. So I'm going, he goes, where you at? What you doing? I'm going, huh? 3 or 4 times. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The people leave, go Paul, and Dad comes out of the marsh. Everybody came to me. I went, yeah. I went, huh? So I remember that. You remember?
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. But you know, it's so. This is how life is for me with my dad. I grew up with my dad. He's never whipped me in my life. My mama had to do all the whipping and stuff. He's never punished me, done anything like that. But I got more lectures than anybody 10 times over in this whole room, this whole place, because after I left the house, I got married. And I had my own place, the candy and stuff. I worked at the same place my dad did. So he goes, let's ride together. How many years we rode together? 11 years of 30 minutes going one way, 30 minute lecture going 30 minutes, 30 minutes lecture back. Every single day except on weekends. And he gave me a lecture. Jacob, how would you like me to come ride with you every single day and tell you how you can live a better life, or what happened to me today, and all that stuff? I'm good, dude. My dad molded me. He knew I was ADHD and all that stuff, and helped me so much. So for 11 years of doing all that, you know, made me a better person. Can't say that. I did not do that. I wanted to, but I didn't do that. But you know, thank you so much. I wouldn't trade you guys for nothing in the world. Love you. Remember, we didn't have, like, you know, remotes for TV. You know that? That actually, at a point in time, they did not have remotes. They had this thing you had to turn. Well, Mom and Dad got an RCA that actually, you pressed the button and the thing would go to the next channel. And it was a dial. It was a big dial and all that stuff. So, you know, Dad's like, you know, I want to see the next station. Instead of staying up, you know, going to turn it, we'd lay down and we'd put our toe on that button, and he'd go next, and go, ooh, next, ooh, and he'd watch TV like that. Remote controls, again, you know. It was Mom and Dad's remote control our toe, you know.
Remember that?
I wasn't coming up, but since my brothers came up, I had to write something down. All right, when I remember a lot of things, your first experience and everything else when we used to live on Hialeah, and I'm gonna start back then. I was high, maybe 5 years old or so, and I used to, I wouldn't go to the bathroom for number 2. I'd get constipated. So I'm in the tub in the bathroom, and I get out, and I'm naked, and I go to Mom, and I said, Mom, there's a number 2 floating in the tub. So she comes in there and I'm yay high, and sure enough she says, So she leaves. Now y'all remember Tinker Toys. These are wooden sticks and round things you build windmills with. Well, I had Tinker Toys, and she grabbed, now they all color-coded. The green ones were this long. So she got 2 chopsticks is what she got, and she tried to fish that log out the tub, and I'm just sitting over the tub just watching her. And she just fussed me kind of and said, go to the back, go use the toilet before you get in the tub, you know, and that type of thing. And later on, I played with them Tinker Toys, and I wondered if she washed it. Which comes back to, and again, I'm gonna get back, you know, still again, and I told Dad and Glenda one time, I said, you gotta watch what you tell kids. Glenda was telling Rihanna, they had some ants, and she was telling Glenda, Gigi, about the ants, and Glenda, you know, I looked, she says, well, talk to the ants. So sure enough, she's talking to the ants, and I said, you gotta not do that, because when I was a kid, let me see where I was. Oh yeah. When I was a kid, first of all, I was outside with Dad, and he said he was doing something on the house on Hialeah, and on the side next to Anna and Banana. I don't remember their names, but that was the people that lived next to us. And he's sitting there doing something, and there was a telephone wire, and he said, there's millions of people in wire. You know, you can talk to millions of people. Now, a few days later, I'm playing, and I'm looking at that wire, so I go up to the wire, and I start talking to the wire. And then I put my ear to the wire. And I told Dad, I said, there ain't nobody in that wire. Because I'm thinking they're little bitty people. So, same thing, your first experience, I'm in the bed maybe that night or later on, and you know, you're young, you haven't experienced everything in life. And I'm there. They had TT and Dello over, and you know, I had to go to bed, so this is Hialeah, so I started screaming. Dad runs in. He goes, what's wrong? I said, there's a man in a cape threw a match, and it's sitting in the air. And he goes, what? I said, I know there's a man in here, and he threw a match, and it's laying there. It was a lightning bug. So he grabbed the lightning bug, and he dissected it. Well, not dissected, but he showed me how the lightning bug worked and everything else. And so the experience that was my first, you know, seeing something, not knowing what it was. And then lastly, well, I got one more thing. Later on here, Mom, we had cats. We always had cats. Lots of cats. Kittens, cats and kittens. We had litters, families, a whole tribe. We built bricks. We built all kinds of things. But anyway, the mama cat, Minu, was getting too old to really have kittens. So she had kittens, maybe about 6, 7. But the umbilical cord was still connected to this blob. So the kittens were all hung up with the cord around the neck and everything else. And it was a Saturday, and Mom said, okay, we're going to operate. So on top of the Oldsmobile hood, parked under the carport, she had these scissors. She wanted to get the scissors out the house, and she had some black thread, and she made a loop. She says, okay, I'm going to cut the cord, and you got to tie that loop over the cord because it's going to bleed. And I'll never forget, operating room on the Oldsmobile hood. We're sitting there. She said, you ready? She cut that. I had that deal, and I went on the ground. That blood squirting everywhere. Us kids were screaming and all that. Well, a couple of nights later, whatever, Mom used to make homemade pizza. And there's those scissors she pulls out. And she's cutting them. And I'm looking at those scissors, and it's just like the Tinker Toys. I said, I wonder if she watched that. So anyway, that kind of, and the last thing, Dad, he told me about the birds and the bees. And I quote, this is what he said. We were waxing his truck right there, the welding machine. He says, I'll tell you about the birds and the bees. I said, okay. Women are different. That's it, Cap. I said, I knew that. Mom and Dad, love y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Glenda had asked me what's a memory I have or something special, and I'm gonna try not to cry. But when I was growing up, I didn't have grandparents, and just that my kids have y'all and that y'all have been there for everything for them means the world to me because they have everything I've ever wanted, including y'all.
You want me to do
Sure.
I'll do one before back.
Okay, he'll do it. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Very good. Anyone and everyone knows Grandpa Julius. Either through the Instagram comments or anything else that happens. But dude, I'm used to that. I'm used to my singing.
That's the only way to hear you.
Papa, stories of Papa and Mama that I come to mind so easily are either whenever I would get scared of wasps and Papa would tell me they don't sting on Tuesdays. I believe him. As well as they can sense your fear. So I would yell at them. Then memories, the few little memories I have of just being a child, a toddler, some of them are at the camp, sitting on Papa's lap, and he has the Yamaha boat motor catalog. And he would sit down and he'd show me each of the parts of the motors. And he'd say, "This is a spark plug. This is a jet one. It has intakes from the bottom and goes out the back." And then 23 years later, I go to be engineer. I still remember all those little moments of sitting there, fixing the little, or pulling out the toolbox from under the sink. That little wooden toolbox I would open up. And it had a voltmeter in it, and I'd take a 9-volt battery and put it on top, and the little thing would jolt over. I said, "This is really fun." It was easy to entertain me, I guess, but all I needed. I also love when Mama had the Nintendo, whatever that was called, we would play Mario. And anytime, what sticks out the most of that for me is anytime we would fall in the little deal, she would yell, she'd jolt and jump me and yell, "Geronimo!" It's the very few couple little memories that stick out for me. Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Mama.
I wrote a dissertation. It's a letter to you guys. And I'm gonna start crying. Already. So when I look at my grandparents, I see two complete opposites. Who have loved each other for over 65 years. Not just because of their love for their family, but because they found ways to enjoy each other during each stage of their life. As we all know, Papa is outgoing, loves to be around people, and talks a lot. Just a few of the things he taught me is how to drive a boat, shoot a gun, how to plow a field, hunt, hydroslide, and ski. He taught me to love the outdoors and being on the water. He would encourage me to get an education by saying, "You have to be smarter than Papa."
That's for them. Just to fly them
But
out.
my favorite and most valuable lesson from him is how to sell anything to anyone, even if they don't want it, by throwing in a couple of bags of fish. Mama, on the other hand, is quiet, enjoys her solitude, and is not a woman of many words. But then who could blame her with that one? With only an 8th grade education, she showed me a woman can do anything. She gave me courage and taught me to be fearless. She taught me that the only thing I need to reach my goals is determination. She taught me how to paint, lay floors, bricks, how to figure out how to do something that you know nothing about. My favorite memories are snapping beans we just picked from the garden while watching soap operas and playing Nintendo games in silence, but with the occasional cuss word, which is how I learned cuss French words. So, while they both taught me invaluable lessons individually, they also passed down lessons together, such as their love of fishing, which has now been passed down to my girls. They also taught me the importance of doing things together, such as sitting down at the table with each other at every meal, and slow dancing at every New Year's at midnight. They made it a point. So I just want to thank you that you chose to be a part of my life, that you took the time to teach me the lessons that you learned along the way. And yes, I even thank you for getting me up at 4 a.m. to go fishing in the cold. I even cherish those memories. But most importantly, thank you for showing me how to love and appreciate family above all else.
Lots of good. Okay. Oh, wait, I had one. Mario seemed to have been the game of everybody's memory.
That was ping pong.
Jesse gave some quick little memories, Mama and Papa. He said, Mama, he remembers watching, Mama gets so aggravated at playing Mario Brothers with the sound off. And I said, well, did y'all play in teams? And he said, heck no. She didn't let anybody play, just watch. You remember that? But she did say that you would go to all the thrift stores and look for all the games to collect for them during the year and give that to them. And he said that was sweet. I asked Jesse, what about Pawpaw? And he said just 3 words. Sweat, blood, and work. And then he said something about a chainsaw and a tree and going to ER. You remember that? But then he said this here, right here, this is love, and this is the memorable moment for him. Right here, right now. Okay, let's see. Anybody else? I just want to say something real quick. When Guy and I were getting married, my mom gave me some advice, and she said, these are good people. She said, but they have strong personalities. Strong personalities. She said they love each other and they help each other. And then she said again, but this is a good family. She said, but you're going to have to stand on your own with them. Well, I learned last year what that strong personality word is in French. Papa taught it to my granddaughters, and he uses it as a weapon on Momo, and it's called tête de, which means hard head. And yes, and like I said, he uses it as a weapon because he has the little ones go around and call Momo tête de. I started to buy 2 baseball caps and put tête de 1 and tête de 2 on the hats for you, but I knew Momo would not wear it. And I have to say that tête deux breed tête deux. And I have here, and y'all might laugh, but I think I see a lot of tête deux in here. That gene must have been in Lucille and Shelley Fungi. So they must have both been tête deux. But I really believe that Julius is the bigger tête deux. But my special memory will always be getting off the tête deux. My special memory will always be, I was sharing with the kids, the grandchildren, they were talking about, Popo calls Momo tête deux, Momo fusses at Popo, Popo fusses at Momo. And I said, they're just picking. They're picking, especially Popo. I said, but you know what I see when I come walking around here in the afternoons? I see them standing in the kitchen, hugging each other. Hugging each other. And I will always remember that. I want to thank you for the love that you've given me and the love that you've demonstrated to your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids. You have set a legacy and an example for us all, and I love you very much, and I appreciate you. Okay, who's next? Little small one? Okay, no, wait, I got one more. I'm sorry, the best for last. You're just sitting right there, best for last. Okay, so now I have to read this for somebody. It's a tribute to my wife, Roberta. This is from Julius. He said, I dated her for 66 66 years ago on a $10 bet with two of my friends. We dated for 1 year, and we got married 2 days after I graduated from high school. Roberta saved $200, and that's what we got married with. He got a good deal. We had 3 bad boys, and we tried to keep them straight. I think he did a good job. I worked in the oil fields for 46 years, and Roberta stayed home and raised the boys. I've never met a more hardworking woman, and I asked her where she gets her motivation from. And she's also a great cook. She does carpenter work on the rent houses. There you go, Rebecca. The bricks that you're sitting on and standing on, she laid these over 50 years ago. She cuts grass, she weed eats the grass, she clears out the woods, she makes the piles. There's 72 on one day, and 47 on the next day, and 64 piles on the next day. She plants flowers and trees in this yard. She would rather be doing yard work than being at her 65th anniversary party.
79 this week.
And 79 this week, that's right. And she is the best fishing partner that I could ever have. I must have missed something. That I have ever fished with, and she can catch fish in a bathtub and other things. So I'm glad I took that $10 bet. I could not have found a better wife and partner than Roberta, and I love her with all my heart and will love her forever. She is my hero and the wind beneath my wings, honey love.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Aww.
And I ain't spell checking, man.
It might be a little tough.
You need me to raise it?
Yeah, please.
There we go. Okay. Is that good? Is that good? Anyway, you know, 8 of us were raised on this place, and the 8 of us teamed up through the years. It was Shirley and Helena. Rosetta and Elodie, Julius and I, and Lawrence and Charles. And it was that way, very close to each other. Julius and I, we had common interests, fishing and hunting. I'll never forget one day we went out on that lease where we weren't supposed to hunt, and it was foggy. So we got on the bank, and we knew the pond was like at my house, but it was so foggy we couldn't see. So I don't remember, did I get on your shoulders or you get on my shoulders?
You got on my shoulder.
Okay. I got on his shoulders to see, and you know, like he's my brother, he's not heavy. But anyway, we've had great times together, fishing, hunting, working, building camps, and I still revere him, I respect him, I love him, and he's my brother.
Julius and Roberta, 65 wonderful years together on this place. And I have to thank Mom and Daddy for sharing this place with me.
Yes.
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 Cheers to them.
Yes. Amen.
Amen.
All in pairs. Helena and Shirley was the best pair together. Helena lost her pair, she lost Shirley. I was always with Elodie, that was my pair. I lost Elodie. Charles and Lawrence were always the pair. And Lawrence lost Charles, and now Charles has lost Lawrence. But there's only 2 girls left and 2 boys left. Paul and Julius are the only pair that's left. And my sister Helena and I, there's only 4 of us left. But we came from a very, very good family.
Strong family.
Strong family with a lot of work ethics. And we had everything we ever needed and never wanted. That was nothing that we ever thought we never had. Because we had our parents, we had land, we had food, we had everything. And we all came out pretty good kids. All of us. So this is real nice that you did. And Julius and Roberta, I'm real proud that y'all still together for and alive and together with your family to celebrate this at 65 years. If my husband still be living, I'd be married 71 years. No.
Let's see. Okay. No, that's doing a flash right there. Hold up, don't move yet. There's some more people want to take pictures.
That's it, right?
No. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can you see?
Don't go that way.
Don't go that way.
You gotta listen to instructions.
Okay, you ready? Look this way.
Look that way.
Here we go. Smile. Okay, we're gonna get you. I think it should be. Looks like it is. Okay. Thank you, thank you.
3, 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna do it again and again. Okay, Rebecca, you want to take a picture?
Can you hold this?
Yep.
She does. Gotta put your hand on it.
Put your hand on that and just push it down.
Okay, we gotta do a window.
Wait, Mama, get your hand on his hand.
Put your
And then
hand.
look over here. And now look at the camera. Look right here. Aww. Now you gotta serve each other. Oh yeah, you gotta do this thing where you. Mama, get underneath. Yes. Mama, you gotta get underneath. Don't let him get his arm on top. We're gonna do it after pictures.
Put your arm right here. No. You gotta put your arm and twist it around, and then you gotta take a bite. You gotta
That's gonna get you.
Yeah, you gotta take that.
Get him. I don't think that you're. Get him! Oh yeah, divorce.
Nice, okay.
Here, let me get you a bell.
Okay, you gotta take one.
I know.
Give us some phone.
You want a piece?
Let's go back to the kitchen.
You need a fork? You have one? Piles of grass.
Well, she'd rather be with the piles of grass than here.
Here, this is the one they said you would want. The fruit in the middle.
Okay. No, you go ahead. I'm all right.